What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats experience. I'm Arthur Moats, and you know what time it is, man. A little bit early of a vibe today. Y'all know we usually like to be here on the 8 p.m. vibes. Don't get it twisted. Typically Mondays and Wednesdays are the 8 p.m. variety, but I'm in my vibe right now, man. I told y'all on Valentine's Day, man, me and wifey went out, saw the our South Fayette Lady Lions, little ladies out there getting the dub in the first round of the playoffs. So he's like, you know what, man? We got the second round game tonight. Why don't we go to this? I said, shoot, you know what? I suppose we could do it old school style. Little 4 o'clock time frame, just one time for the coach. I said, I don't see why we couldn't do that. So, you know, that's the vibe, man. Figure we come up in here for a little while on the front tip because we do got plenty to discuss. I mean, I feel like every time I pick up my phone, is new news, is new rumors, new interests, and new storylines of this guy to here, that guy doesn't want to be here, and everything in between. So, you know, I said, we got to chop it up with all of that, baby. But yeah, man, so, you know, you see me in the green. All right. Got the vintage collection. Yes, indeed. The Arthur Experience with D. That was the OG version. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get some new stuff soon. All right. New stuff dropping soon. I got you. All right. Because we do got to get the giveaways popping off. And I have seen where y'all actually are rocking with the channel still. All right. I had me nervous for a little while. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I was looking. I was like, man, subscribers went back down. Oh, Lord. They leaving us. But then I said, oh, never mind. Them numbers came right back. Y'all was bouncing back. I said, okay. Y'all had me in the first half. I ain't gonna go, you had me in the first half, but salute to y'all, baby. Salute to you, man. But yeah, man. So, good times, man. Good times over here, man. But like I said, man, we got plenty that we're going to discuss. We might get a chance to talk to the homie today, TG. Y'all know we usually connect with him on the late night vibe. But like I said, man, had to hit him a little bit early today. So we will see, man. We obviously know he got that big boy official job. You know what I'm saying? That defensive coordinator of Norfolk State University thing. You know what I mean? So when you got the big boy job like that, I could totally understand. I tell him all the time, that's the priority. I'm the secondary. All right. That's the priority though. All right. So shout out to my dog though, man, because he definitely doing his thing. I got low key excited too, man. Before I got on the show, man, I was surfing on IG and I see Deshaun Jackson, obviously the head coach of Delaware State. Shout out to D-Jacks. But he put up their schedule. And of course, I say, yo, Norfolk State is on the. I'm going to get Deshaun Jackson led Delaware State versus Mike Vick and the homie TG led Norfolk State Spartans. Oh, and it's at the crib. And then I also saw where Clinton Portis just joined Deshaun Jackson's staff as the running backs coach. So now I'm like, yo, God dog, man, like my man, yo. I like the little staff you putting together at both parties, man. Get a couple of names, man. Some people that, you know, have done that thing at the NFL level, and all of a sudden, man, it get real buzzy. Oh, yeah, hold on now. Let me see what y'all got going over there today, bro. So, like I said, man, I'm definitely liking the vibes, though, man. Definitely liking that, man. But shout out to all of the guys transitioning, man, you know, into these new fields and new elements of life, man, in the coaching world, man. Talking about guys like Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson, obviously the homie T. All right. But, you know, like I said, man, that is the vibe, man, that I have been on. But yeah, man, so shout out to y'all and the flexibility, too. I see y'all. Frank K said, no, man, no more 8 o'clock starts. Now, listen, Frank, you got to remember, baby, for the boy, I be digging it. Right now, I feel a little bit out of place, man. I've been enjoying these past 2 weeks at 8 p.m. starts. I'll be over here like, hey, man, what time you want to do dinner? We do regular dinner now. All right, hey, man, eat like the regular folk eat. 6 o'clock, that's not good. Yeah, get it a little 6 o'clock then, all right? I be digging. I ain't got to rush, man. So, I get you on Thursdays. All right, Thursdays your 4 o'clock time frame. But right now, man, I like the little late night vibe. But then obviously the flip side is the turnaround time, right? When you start doing it on the late night, man, it cut down or it adds a little bit more time in terms of turning around them clips and stuff. So, you know, like I said, man, there's some pros and cons to it, man. But I like the late night vibe. I like the kick back, the chill, the wind down before it's time to close them eyes or step out and get active. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But like I said, man, that's kind of been my energy with this day, man. But shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Ooh, and I see Jay Farrell. He on his Rough Riders DMX anthem. Stop, drop, shut him down, open up, shot. Salute, man. If you know, you know, man. Respect on that. All right. I like it. Shout out to y'all, man. I see y'all in the building. Got the homie David Dupree, DD Small. It's always good to see you. Steeler Girl 808. She says, I'll be back. need to do a haircut. Man, you better get that bag over there. I see you over there multitasking. I know you finna do something right. Give him the updo, all right, or give him the silky press. Which one you gonna give him? You know what I'm saying? You want the blowout, all right? But whatever it is, I know you're gonna kill it over there, all right? So salute to you. Salute to you. All right. Ooh, now Steelers Nation for Life asked, am I going to add a co-host again ever? Man, I am all the way undecided on that. I'm not even gonna hold you, man. Co-hosts are cool. They're great. They bring a lot to the table. But at the same time, man, there is so much more flexibility and control that goes with being solo. So I'm kind of in that middle phase of, man, I'm not about to jump to make a decision one way or the other. But I figure in the meantime, let me get up here and just cut up and have a little fun while I'm, processing and trying to figure out what I do want to do next, whether it is finding a long-term guest like we did with the Deke format, or is it what you see with First Take, where Stephen A has the revolving guess. You feel me? It's not always the same person, but on certain days you got different people that you expect. So just a little bit behind the scenes right there. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff I am thinking up. You know what I mean? So, but I figure right now, man, what's the point in rushing to make a decision and then having to either pivot off of that or I don't really like it all the way. So I was like, you know what, man? We got time. But as long as the Steelers keep feeding us what they feeding us, I say y'all make my life easy. All right. It's not really a lot of prep when it's like, hey, man, you got this topic, that topic. Like, oh, all right. Now it's more so just, all right, how much time do we want to spend on each one? But I also get a chance to talk to you guys more also with the phone line. So like I said, man, that's the vibe in it. And that's kind of the thought process with it, man. But like with all things, man, whenever you're going through a transition, man, don't always be in such a hurry to, I got to get this done or I got to get this perfect or I want it to look a certain way. It's like, nah, man, take time with it, man. Take time with it. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now, man. But we will see, brother. We will see. I do like the opportunities, though, when I get a chance to chop it up with Dom, right? We obviously did the episode with him last week. Dudes like Dom, dudes like Tyler, man, it's dope. You know what I mean? Trust me, there's going to be some other people you're going to be seeing, man, get more opportunities to just, like I said, chop it up on camera and stuff. So, yeah, man, I like it, man. But I'm not all the way committed one way or the other of solo versus bringing that other person in here, man, and vibing out. So, y'all just keep rocking with me, man. And we'll figure that journey out or the answer to that together along this journey, man. But salute to each and every one of y'all that are pulling up. You know your boy appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Episode 660. Lord have mercy. That's the other crazy part. 660. I mean, I done hit this live button 660 times and y'all done rock with me 660 times. So salute to y'all. And yes, Rod Dollar, I like how you said it was leg day because your boy actually did have leg day today too, man. Salute to you. All right. I got to get a little leg day in there on the front of the week. All right. Don't wait till the end of the week. Get it on the front end. Get it out the way. All right. But, oh yeah. Steelers Road War. You ain't got to worry about that. We ain't on that freaky 666. Nah, we just, yeah. We won't play with them once. But anywho, let's go ahead and get this thing fired up the way that we always do. Go ahead and drop it in the comment section, baby. Where you tuning in from? So that way I can give you the big boy shout outs to start today's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, I see the gang in the building. Oh, Rico from the 4 also said it was leg day. Yeah, shout out to leg day, bro. MPCP, yeah, leg day for real, man. But I say get it at the beginning of the week. Don't wait on it. All right, let's see. Chris Furman in from South Jersey in the 856, watching from work on the ambulance. Hey, shout out, man. We appreciate you, man. Doing good job, doing good deeds, but also supporting the channel, man. Hey, from the heart, man, from the heart. Rico from the 4, rocking out in Rochester, New York, the 585. Shout out to Craig Ellison, the 717, Lancaster, PA. Leah Warren, the 254. Killeen, Texas. Shout out to Leah. Let's see. Brando in the 512, San Marcos, Texas. And he also said it was leg day. If you're not getting your quads big, if you ain't working on them hammies, what's your calves looking like? Come on, man. Dang, man. Don't leave them little muscles, them big muscles. Hey, man, you better get that lower half, baby. Get the lower half. Sombra in the 760, Palm Springs, California. Spills in Penn Hills, PA. Shout out to Penn Hills, right up the road. Let's see. Oh, Steel King Nate in Greer, South Carolina, the 864, and Flow Grown 420, who we talked to about a week ago. Shout out in the 352, San Antonio, Florida. Got a couple more shout outs. I see y'all pulling up. I see y'all in the building. All right. Oh, Mr. Jassim, also in the 585, Rochester, New York. Shout out to Rochester, man. Rochester pulling up today. All right. Hey. Respect to all the Rochester people out there. Home of the garbage place. All right. If you know, you know. Team garbage plate over here. I think it's fine. Not the healthiest, though. All right. And then let's see. Ooh, Alan Vigil in the 361 Corpus Christi, Texas. Shout out to Corpus Christi, Texas, man. I like it. All righty, man. So it was funny, man. I was doing my show prep, had all these different topics lined up. And then as, you know, the day is going on, I'm like, man, it's just so much like relevant hot news that I feel like I should just get the relevant hot stuff first, and you know I get to the other stuff that your boy had planned. We'll get to that later, you know what I mean? So yeah, with that being the case, let's go ahead and rock out, because we did have multiple things. All right, I will first start with the I guess the big one, man, because obviously this deals with quarterback play, man. And I don't want to run from it, man. All right. Because I accidentally stumbled across this one right here. Shout out to Daniel Jones. All right. Shout out to Danny Dimes. Unfortunately, y'all saw the same reports I saw, huh? Oh, yeah, man. Steelers got some interest in Danny Dimes. They can see him fit. And I said, oof. We've gotten to that part of the offseason, baby. We have gotten to that part. We have gotten to that part of the search, the quest for the guy. All right. Shout out to Steelers Road Warrior. Shout out. And this is the beautiful part about this, man. We got to talk about him, because unfortunately, if it was as simple as he sucks, then, you know, we wouldn't bring the topic up. But unfortunately, he has done enough to make it where it's enough relevancy where, yes, you do have to have these type of conversations. So let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it, because we don't want to be that person. We don't want to be the person that was poo-pooing the man, didn't even give him a chance at it, and then they come in and work out, and then we be like, oh, man, all right, you right. So we're going to do our due diligence. Just going to simply do our due diligence, okay? Steelers Road Warrior, okay? Michael G, we're just going to do our due diligence. So let's talk about it. Danny Dimes. What do we know about the fella? All right, so with Danny Dimes, man, 27 years old, be 28 in May. Shout out to him for that. Going into his 7th season, up until week 10, I think it was week 11 of last season. The only team he had played for was the New York Giants. 6 seasons there, did not get a Pro Bowl, but did get the second contract. They had just signed him to it was a, I want to say 5-year, $160 million extension. And that was 2 years ago. Obviously, we know that deal did not work out the way that, the Giants would have anticipated it. I mean, we all looked at him and was like, man, you about to pay this man crazy money on top of crazy money while you allow a guy like Saquon Barkley to ultimately leave and go to one of your rivals on top of that, man, and ultimately have an insanely great year while winning a Super Bowl. But that's for another day. But with Danny Dimes, though, man, in terms of what he's done at this level, throughout his first 6 seasons, 14,582 passing yards. He's had 70 passing touchdowns, and he's had 47 interceptions. His best season would have been 2022 from a statistical standpoint, passing-wise at least, where he was 67% completion rating, 3,200 pass yards, 15 touchdowns, only 5 turnovers, and he did that in 16 games, going 9-6-1. And that was obviously the year that he led them to the postseason with Brian Dable, and he got that contract extension that offseason. With him, though, and did he get player? I want to say he got an award as well, comeback player of the year. That's what it was. I was like, I feel like he got it, or did he win it? I gotta see if he won it that year. Actually, man, hold on, let me double check that. I want to say he did win it that year. All right, let me pull you up real quick. I'm almost certain on this, but I could be off, though. I could definitely be off. Nope, I was off. He did not win that thing, man. Gino won it that year. Shout out to Gino. The other guy we was talking about the other day. All right. But he was in the running for that type of convo, mainly because of the slow, sluggish start at times to his career, man. First season in, though, 3,000-yard passer. First season, 3,000-yard passer, 24 tutties, 12 picks. They were 3-9 in 13 games with Daniel Jones. Second year, man, obviously 5-9, 2,900 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 picks. That wasn't pretty at all. Third year after that, 2,400 yards in 11 games, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks. As you can see, not the 2-to-1 ratio that you typically look for with quarterbacks in terms of touchdowns to turnovers to touchdowns to interceptions, but still has production. Like I said, 70 touchdowns, 47 picks, 14,000 passing yards. Still is decent. 64% completion rating throughout his career is still decent. And that's the one thing that I will say. Now, when we're bringing him up in comparison to guys like Justin Fields, obviously, I don't want to do either guy a disservice in this. Let me pull his direct side-by-side comps up, okay? Let's go. So, obviously, with Danny Dimes, man, he's played in 20 more games than Justin Fields. But in terms of the big differences between these dudes from a statistical standpoint, man, obviously, we got to account for certain things. The passing touchdowns, yes, that stands out because, yeah, he's played in 20 more games, but he obviously has, 25 more passing touchdowns than Justin Fields, 70-45. But the interesting part is this from a turnover standpoint, man, 47 picks to 31 picks. We know that that's one of the things with Fields. We want to continue to have him going in the opposite direction, going down, which he did do a good job of this season. But the big difference to me, man, is obviously when you talk about the legs. I mean, even with the 20 extra games that Danny Dimes has played, he has 2,100 rushing yards, man, on 399 attempts. Justin Fields, 418 attempts, 2,500 rushing yards already off that. 19 touchdowns for Justin Fields on the ground versus 15 rushing touchdowns on the ground for Danny Dimes. A lot. I mean, from a statistical standpoint, those two dudes are closer together than I know a lot of us want to feel, just because I get it, man, it's Danny Dimes. But they are closer. Obviously, when you're talking about Russ, that's a little bit of a different case, man, because obviously his full body work really, I mean, it blows both of those dudes out the water. But when we're talking about in the right now, in terms of Danny Dimes and Justin Fields, the things that I think that they present, man, is obviously the athleticism over us. Danny Dimes, man, yeah, he looks the part. You know, ideal size, ideal arm strength, and all the other, cool stuff that you see in a first round quarterback, man. 6'5", 230, big arm, right? Can run. But the problem with him, and very similar to some of the criticism that you've heard me voice with Justin Fields up until he came to Pittsburgh, is their lack of consistency with just the routine quarterback plays. When you're talking Danny Dimes, yeah, he's capable of making a lot of throws on the field. He's capable of taking off and running for 70, 80 yards as well. He might trip over his own feet, but he is capable of that also. He can stand in the pocket and make big throws. He's capable of a lot of things. He has pocket awareness on occasion. He can read the field on occasion. He can get rid of the ball on occasion. He can play within the system on occasion. He can give you some improvisation on occasion. But once again, the problem is this. When you're looking at Danny Dimes, and specifically what went wrong in New York on top of that was when they paid him the contract, man. You start paying him 40+ mil. He, to me, isn't at the stage right now where he can account for $40+ million worth of production. I think he's one of those guys that if you keeping him in the $20 million range, the Geno Smith contract, the Jameis Winston type contracts, I think that's what allows you to put pieces around him and take a lot off of his plate. I think with him, very similar to what we saw with Justin Fields this year, less is more. We seen when Justin Fields was asked to do everything in Chicago and how at times, man, it went left and a lot of people weren't the biggest, fans of his game. But then he came to Pittsburgh and we saw where it was less is more. We condensed what we were allowing him to do or what the staff was allowing him to do. And from there, we saw a more efficient, more productive version of Justin Fields. With Danny Dimes, he just hasn't gotten to that situation just yet. When you look at the situation he had in New York, obviously with Saquon, and then when Saquon left, it's Danny Dimes, you got to make these plays. You got to be the guy every single time. That's not him at this stage. I'm not even going to lie to you like that, man. But what he does bring is, if you're bringing him in for, a very, very, very team appropriate contract, you put pieces around him, and yes, he can make a ton of those throws. He can do the running thing with his legs. He doesn't run as well as Fields, but I think he passes better than Fields. I think Fields has the stronger overall arm, but I think that Danny Dimes has better touch and placement on the football. But both of those guys, man, to me, have to just be more consistent. They both have talent, and that's why they both were drafted in the first round. One guy got one guy got franchise tag and then got the contract, but then got cut 2 years after the contract. One guy didn't get the chance to get the contract extension. Ultimately, we made the move to go and get Justin Fields. But to me, man, both of those dudes, man, you got a lot of room to grow, but you also have, some big question marks with them as well. I think that, if you're trying to make one of those dudes your long-term answer, the percentages, man, if, we putting a number value on it, I'm going to put the Fields value higher because we've seen Fields in our system. But in terms of, are either one of these dudes surefire things? Absolutely not. Is the probability of Danny Dimes developing into something that we thought you saw a glimpse of back in 2022? I'm still skeptical about it just because it is extremely hard to do. And the better these quarterbacks play, they do command more money. But with that, it's the catch-22. You command more money, is going to put more responsibility on your plate if these guys are not talented enough and good, and just consistent enough to warrant that. And that's where you start getting that weird feeling of, you're overpaying this guy at the most important position, but it's handicapping the rest of your squad. I think for Danny Dimes, that's the convo you got to have. That's kind of what's, how I feel about Sam Darnold. He's another one like that. I think Sam, in the right situation, like you saw him in Minnesota, you can thrive with Sam. Sam, man, had them boys winning 14 games, was a game away from being the number one seed and having a bye. But if you paying Sam 30, 40 million, you're not going to get that because you don't have all the weapons to put around him. Danny Dimes look at the exact same way. If you pay him 30, 40 million and say, man, drive this car, be the guy, be the reason, I think that you're going to be disappointed. If you get him on a 20, 25 type level contract, man, I think that allows you to put more pieces around him. And then from there, he has the talent. And that's the part. That's the thing that it is funny with Danny Dimes. Like I said, I wasn't even trying to look for Danny Dimes, man. I was watching Dalvin Tomlinson. All right. Dalvin Tomlinson. Y'all know his name. He plays for the Cleveland Browns. Nose tackle. I was looking at him because I'm like, bro, I think we need, if he get cut, that's the guy I want us to go sign in free agency to go help our run defense out, bro. But as I'm watching, I was pulling up the game against him versus the Giants. And I'm like, man, let me just watch Danny real quick. This early in the season, everybody should be healthy. I'm like, bro, Danny, man, he got a couple throws in there. He got some legs. All right, I see what they like. Then I pulled up the game, obviously, when he played against us, and it was a different approach. I was like, man, versus the Browns, he dropped back a lot more, was trying to air it out, use his legs. I said, you get him to Pittsburgh. I was like, man, we were so ready to heat him up. Everything was quick game, screens, now passes, or throwing it up top. You know what I mean? And that was the funny part with that was, so I'm like, all right, okay. But then you obviously get the reports and it's like, oh, Steelers got interest. Like, we're there. Sheesh. But like I said, man, at this stage, man, everybody was on the table. You all right? And the reason why I say everybody's on the table is we know we have some internal conversations about Fields versus Russ. We should be getting more information on that. They were saying next week when Coach Thomas was to have that hard meeting offensively and defensively where they decide on which free agents they want to retain and which free agents they're going to move on without. That all is supposed to be happening next week, according to the reports, man, from shout out to the homie Jeremy Fowler, man, ESPN now, man, big dog. Shout out to the homie, man. But that's what they're saying. So we should get a little bit more clarity on their direction with one of these quarterbacks starting them. But we also know, man, we got news about Justin Fields and about Russ as it pertains to, our quarterback situation, man, from an internal free agency standpoint, man. So let's go ahead. Actually don't. All right, so what I'll do is like this. I'm going to just drop the graphic real quick. But yeah, man, y'all hit that like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel and you're digging what we got going on today. Yeah, shout out to this Danny Dimes, man. This Danny Dimes. Let me see what y'all got going on, man. All righty. Zach Sinsberg says, I see Fields as a win-win. Either he works out and we have our guy, or he doesn't and we go get Arch. I mean, in a perfect scenario, yeah, you get Arch Manning. In a perfect scenario. If it's not a perfect scenario, Arch isn't available, do we still got the win-win? I'm just curious, because we've seen a lot of times where our perfect scenarios don't always work out perfectly. So, I'm just curious, man, like, do we have a contingency if it doesn't go? But yeah, man, it's rough out here. It's rough out here. All right. I don't like the mindset personally, man, because it's like, it's either going to be really, really good or it's going to be bad enough where we're going to be picking early enough to go get that type of guy. That's way too much risk reward, bro. Like, jeez, you don't believe in just that. Let me get, he's like, bro, we either going to kill it or we're going to win it. All right. It's one or the other. I can dig it though, man. I can dig it. That's aggressive though. It's rather aggressive. All right. Shout out to Demeads56 joining the upper room. So welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then we got AJ Martinez gifting 10 of them big boy memberships to the congregation. Shout out to AJ being an absolute rock star at life, paying it forward. Man, we appreciate you greatly from the heart. And to those 10 individuals that AJ gifted that membership to, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So you got shout out for the old school. You know what I'm saying? Vintage collection. That we call it vintage. Heck yeah. All righty. But yeah, man. Danny Dimes, of all people. I was like, so we on Danny? We're on Danny? I know y'all ain't feeling Danny like that, man. There's no way y'all feeling Danny like that, all right? I don't see it. Me personally, man, I'm good. I'm good. But like I said, you got to talk about it. Got to entertain it. Report the news. Well, I don't report the news. I just react to it. That's all I'm doing, man. All right. But yeah. Shout out to Let's Go You Dub dropping a super chat as well. He says, from how the year ended to these free agent quarterback rumors, this is a very depressing offseason. I don't know if I mentally can deal with Danny Derp at quarterback for a year. Well, the beauty is this, man. When you don't have your franchise quarterback, this is what you do every single year. Unless you lie to yourself and say that, this quarterback is the guy, and you tell yourself every reason that you know is reasons that he's not the guy, you just close your eyes to that and just only focus on why he is the guy. Yeah. If you do that, then, maybe it feels a little bit different, but yeah, you're still in the same spot. Until you find that guy, you are in the constant chase of acquiring that guy. And the day you stop trying to acquire that guy, typically is the day that, your franchise is all the way down to the tubes, man. That's why you look at the Browns, how aggressive they've been trying to find the guy. It doesn't work, but they're aggressively trying to find him. You look at the Jaguars, aggressively trying to find them dudes, right? The Jets, aggressively trying to find these dudes. Giants, always trying to find these dudes, man. Because, when you move on from your Eli's, when you move on from your Bens, when you move on from these dudes that had, stayed at these places for decade plus, man, it's hard. Atlanta's still trying to find a Matt Ryan replacement. They branded Penix as in a one and done. They branded, all right, man, give me some more of that, what we saw. But they swung at Kirk Cousins. Remember that? They gave him 100 plus. So, yeah, man, more times than not, you don't have the guy. You constantly looking for the guy or you lying to yourself about it. It's a small faction of actual guys, but that's what the whole league is on, man. Danny Dimes is going to be another one of them top priority free agents out here. We can lie to ourselves about it because of how we turn our nose up at Danny Dimes, but Danny Dimes is still better than a lot of quarterbacks that's walking around this earth, man. Let alone the NFL. I'm talking about this whole earth, bro. Like, yeah. Man, look, the same way, man, a couple years ago, when we were looking at Sam Darnold, we're like, ain't no way he's going to be a top free agent signing this offseason. 2 years before that, Mitch Trubisky was a top free agent signing, man. Because it ain't a lot of dudes that can play quarterback at a high level. So even if you get something that looks like it's close to just being good, teams are going to go get that guy, are going to go be in hunts for those guys. That's why all these dudes are first round draft picks or former top picks. The same way we hollered about, man, the Arch Mannings of the world, the same way we hollered about the Cam Wards and the Shador Sanders. Justin Fields was the first rounder. Daddy Jones was the first rounder. Sam Darnold was the first rounder. Like, yeah, man. So that's just how it is, man. That's how it is. I mean, shoot, bitch. Top pick. Deshaun Watson. Top picks. Baker. Top picks. The guys that will laugh and be like, oh, man, heck no, they can't come here. I'd rather go somewhere else. It sounds good. And all you gonna do is more than likely find another version of that versus actually hitting the home run, man. But that's when you find that home run, you got to keep it as long as you can. That's why when we had 7 man, you loved it because 7 man gave you consistency of the most important position, and he did it for a long time. So it allowed you to focus on other parts of your roster versus constantly having to chase and being focused on quarterback. Because we know everybody in the league is looking for that same person right now, quarterback, man. But yeah, it is a interesting time. We are in Let's Go UW. Very interesting time right now, man. Like I said, when I was looking at it, I said, bro, we really on the Danny Dimes. That's like I was like, yo, we're to the Danny Dimes portion of the offseason. We're to the Danny Dimes portion of, yo, is this a guy that you might be interested in? Like, I remember when the Giants released him, man, we was like, oh, all right, he signed a Minnesota practice squad. I'm like, man, cool. But we ain't on that. Like, sheesh, how we get to that? Yeah. But like I said, man, big, got the arm, can run, so they like him. Me personally, if I'm picking between Danny Dimes and Justin Fields, I'm going to tell you today, I want Justin Fields. To be Justin Fields is a more electrifying runner. He is a more just authoritative runner and decisive when he decides to go. And I feel like I can still get more development from Fields. I don't feel like Fields is capped out as a passer. I feel like you can improve him, but I do feel like it's going to take work. It's going to take time. The same way we look at Lamar Jackson, that wasn't a overnight, it just happened in year 1 and now it was perfect. Nah, Josh Allen included. It took some time for those dudes to really develop as passers to the stage that we see them today. And I think with Justin Fields, he is very much capable of doing those same things. But you just have to understand, it is going to be some growing pains. It's going to take some time. The more you put on his plate, just because you're continuing to watch this dude grow. And with that growth, you're going to have some uncomfortable moments. You're going to have some adversity that pops up. But to me, I think that, yeah, if I'm picking between Danny Dimes and Justin Fields as who I want as QB1 next year, give me Justin Fields, man. Definitely give me Justin Fields on that. But like I said, I can understand where some people are going to be interested, or at least the thought of a Daniel Jones could intrigue them when you're comparing him to simply Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. So, like I said, man, that's part of it, man. But shoot, not as a negative, but it is just, to me, when we think of the different quarterbacks that we've had come through Pittsburgh post Ben Roethlisberger, it's like, man, Danny Dimes, low key, he right on par. Make case he kind of better than some of them. That's, yeah. Y'all know who some of these dudes I'm talking about, man. So yeah, shout out to these quarterbacks though, man. Shout out to these quarterbacks, man. Let's get it. And yeah, Marcus Fields, that's part of my question as well. Marcus Fields says Justin Fields has been playing for 4 years. How much development does he need? Well, the beautiful part is this: for consumers, y'all see players as, man, it takes X amount of years. You should have it figured out. Why isn't it done? Unfortunately for the players, it ain't that simple, man. It's a lot of nuances, a lot that goes into a dude's development. Some dudes develop in 2 years. Some dudes take 10 years to develop, man. Yeah, it's just part of it, man. But the beautiful part with the NFL is you don't wait forever on these dudes. And that's why dudes get moved on from. It's the reason why he's no longer in Chicago and he was here. And there's a reason why even when he joined us, it was on a 1 year. We didn't pick up the 5th year option. We didn't even sign him to an extension at that time, because that is still a very legitimate question. And that's part of my hesitancy with him as well. After a while, it's like, man, how much more time do you need? How much more exposure do you need? Because it's not like he's just been sitting in this situation and we haven't seen him prior to this. We've already seen him for multiple years in Chicago with the proverbial keys to the car. It came here and it became, yo, we're going to minimize what you're allowed to do. And now we like it a lot more, but the conversation has shifted back to, let's get him back doing, put more on his plate and let's see what he can get back to. And to me, I don't just blindly leap back and say, oh yeah, it's going to magically be better this time. I personally don't, because there isn't enough data to support it outside of just my blind feelings of, oh, I hope it could work. Yeah. So to me, that's, where I get real hesitant about it, because yeah, those are very legitimate questions right there. Shout out to Marcus Fields on that one, man. I did say your name right. Yeah. Shout out to Marcus Fields, man. But that's real, man. That's definitely real. But at the same time, you have to see certain things. And when we're talking about the belief part, belief is cool when it doesn't affect your day-to-day job. For the Steelers, for the Coach Tomlins of the world, Omar Khan's, that belief, that blind faith, hope, man, you talking about your career on the line. You talking about your job, your livelihood. Yeah. I ain't even gonna lie to you, baby. Yeah, I ain't got a lot of hope. I'm gonna just tell you straight up, baby. In that industry, man, yeah. In that industry, that just blind faith. You don't get a lot of that. I need to see something that gives me a lot of confidence that it will continue to project. Because otherwise, that's how you get the Daddy Dime situation. I'm gonna just give you the $160 million extension because I just think you're gonna continue to you're gonna do it. It's like, why? I'm just gonna do it. Like, you haven't even seen nothing on the tape to show that, it's going to happen, though. He's going to be a 4,000 yard pass. Why? Most you ever seen throw was 3,000 yards. Why is he going to magically be a 4,000? Because you're paying him $40 million. Now he's just all of a sudden that? No, baby. Heck no. That ain't how it works, man. That's the part as players that we see. And we're like, no, man. I don't want to hear the hope. Don't tell me. Show me. And that's why you hear people say it's a results-based business. And you'll hear me always say, man, I don't want potential. Potential is a dirty word. Dudes get fired waiting on potential to develop because it keep you on the hook. Oh, it looks good. Oh man, it has all these. And they're like, that's cool, but we ain't winning it right now. So what's like, we're still waiting on it. I can't wait too much longer because job is about to start rolling. And that's the part, man, when we're talking about just that combination of trusting what you've seen, trusting what you're projecting a guy can be, and then also, man, what pieces you can still put around him and how he's going to mesh with those dudes. There's a lot that goes into this day, man. It's a lot that goes into it. But to me, man, I think Fields is heavily a part of that conversation. Now, the part that is interesting as it pertains to Justin Fields, we got these reports as well. Him. So, yeah, shout out to Jeremy Fowler. But, yeah, as I was doing my show notes, researching and everything like that, he was talking about how the Steelers brass, at least internally, were kind of split on both quarterbacks, right? Which ones they wanted to come back with. And obviously that was why they said that I believe it was Monday, Coach Thomas was to have his, big meetings offensively, defensively, who comes back, who returns, things like, or who doesn't return. But in the midst of that, they were talking about Justin Fields specifically and how he's, number one, the Jets have interest in him and he has interest in the Jets. Shout out to him for that. All right. And then the other part of Jeremy Fowler, what he was reporting was that Justin Fields is open to returning, but he wants at least a promise or a guarantee or some type of pathway to him being able to start for the full season. And he felt like last year, obviously with Russ and how that situation played out, that was never the case. And he doesn't think that there's a clear path if Russ were to return, which we all would agree upon. So that obviously made it a little bit more interesting with Justin Fields, because the conversation surrounding Fields in this quarterback scenario has basically been, do the Steelers want to proceed with Russ as QB1? Fields, you're waiting. Let's figure out, do we want to go do business with him or not? And this whole time, we're just thinking, Fields just sitting there chilling, which I'm glad he was. And I'm glad that for Justin Fields, he has been over here like, let me take some phone calls. Let me see what else is out there. Or not officially, because obviously you can't do that type of stuff right now. But I like the fact that he is utilizing his platform to show that he has some power as well. We always focus on what's best for the organization. What's best for the organization, what's best for the team. Take less money, man. Sign that guy, man. Don't come over here, man. Why? Because it helps the team out. But every once in a while, man, the alumni side, because I was on the player side. I went on front office management side. Nah. So I default to player. Yeah. So I like the fact that Justin Fields for certain was like, hey, bro, I'm nobody's just, number two. I'm nobody's just, oh, I'm the rebound. Like, nah, I'm cool on you, bro. Like, I got action over here too. And that's just one of the teams that we know about. I expect more teams to pop up as the combine arises. Okay, as the combine arrives, we're going to get more and more reports because everybody's there. All the execs, all the agents, everybody's there communicating and talking and bumping shoulders with each other, man. So with that, for Justin Fields, I think it's very much interesting now because that gives him a little bit more leverage. It could also speed up the process and put a little bit more pressure on the organization to have to decide, man, I don't want to just keep sitting here waiting. I'm not a guy that you negotiate with him, and if he don't take the deal, now you coming to me. I'll go to New York, man. It's a big market. I got a receiver that I'm familiar with over there in terms of Garrett Wilson. You got a Breece Hall over there. Now, granted, the Jet situation is very much, but if you're Justin Fields, you're like, bro, I done been in Chicago. Shoot, I done been in bad. You know what I mean? He was in Pittsburgh, so you've seen what the good looks like, so you can bring some of that and hopefully carry it over. But I can see him looking at that and saying it gives him a chance to do the Sam Darnold thing. Build your credit back up. Start for a year. Show what you're capable of. Show what you've learned. Show the 6 games weren't a fluke, and that's who you truly are going forward and only going to be better. And now you got a chance to get everything that you want from a contractual standpoint, from being the face of a franchise standpoint, etc. But I do like that for him. Now, the flip side for the Steelers is, you playing with fire. You're playing with fire. We know you said the priority was Russ or Fields, and the reports are still saying that they are still internally split on Russ and Fields. If that's the case, then it's like, hey, man, if you keep playing this slow game with Russ, or taking your time with Russ and you slow playing my man Fields, you'll mess around and lose Fields, and now you're either forced to pay Russ something, potentially higher, especially if he knows, hey, man, this dude is out. Now my leverage goes up. That was kind of my situation, man, when Jason Rose retired. Shout out to Rose. I was like, hey, bro, you know why you retiring? You put a little extra in my pocket. Yeah, because it gave me more leverage. So that's the part for Russ that, I'm sure that he's also going to be paying attention to. But for the Steelers, man, where they're at, they're handling business the best way for them, right? Man, take the call over here, man. Let me call up Jacksonville. Let me call up LA. Let me see what Stafford's got going on, right? Let me see what's going on with Rodgers, right? You're seeing all these different reports, man. Let me see. Oh, all right. Danny Dimes. Like, I'm going to kick the tires. I want to have that conversation. So they're doing their due diligence. That's what we want. We want them to cast a wide net on these guys. If they simply said, man, as soon as the season ended, hey, it's Justin Fields or it's Russell Wilson and we're not looking at anybody else, we would all feel a little bit like, dang, bro, you ain't even entertain all these different options. You ain't even going to entertain it. You're not even going to think about it just a little bit. So at least we're getting that. So to me, I feel more confident that whoever we decide to, land on, we should feel a lot better with. But with that, you are playing a game. You're playing a game, and it could get dangerous. And when reports like this pop up where Justin Fields is getting interest from the Jets and he or his team has put out there that he is also interested in them, it's multifaceted. It's number one, to let the Jets know ahead of time, hey, bro, I like what y'all talking about, and I know y'all kind of, viewed a little weird, but I'm down if y'all down. That's what he's also putting out there. But the other part is, hey, Pittsburgh, y'all keep playing if you want to. Keep playing if you want to. If you can't decide about me versus Russ, I'll decide for you. That's the way this thing kind of rolls too, man. So, like I said, it's definitely going to get a lot more interesting, a lot more intriguing as it pertains to, Justin Fields and his market. Because to me, I think he's going to have a good market out there. The same way I said Danny Dimes is going to have a nice market. I'm not saying nice in the sense of $30-40 million quarterback market, but anywhere between 10 to 25 million. Yeah, those dudes are going to be in those convos, just depending on which team they're negotiating with, what their role potentially is. Is it QB1 bona fide starter? Is it we look at you as bridge quarterback? Is it we want you to compete with the guy, or you the vet mentor? Like, that's a lot of leeway with those two dudes, man. But then you got these other guys who are release candidates or potential candidates to get moved on from their team that could also spike the QB free agent market, the Matthew Staffords of the world, the Geno Smiths of the world that we talked about, right? Those are the dudes where it's like, man, if that type of guy hits the market, that changes stuff. That can bump the pecking order, so to speak, man. So we will see, man. We will see. But y'all hit that like button, man. Don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. Y'all digging what we on, baby. Shout out to John. Ooh, John. Shout out to John. Shout out to you, John. I was waiting on you, man. All right. John asked what happened to Deke. Well, John, I'm glad you asked. I was looking for you. Deke left because you weren't here. Yes, John. We were streaming about 2.5 weeks ago. All right. We were streaming. No, the Don Hefe Quan. You ain't putting it on Cody today. It ain't Cody James' fault no more. It ain't on Cody. It's on John. It's John's fault. All right. Me and Deke was streaming. We was live. Leah was here. Sean was here. The Don Hefe Quan X Concepts. The whole gang was here. And Deke was like, hey, bro, man, I'm just trying to see where John at, bro. I'm tired of like reading everybody else. I want to read John chat. And I was like, all right, John, come on, John, where you at, bro? John, man, if John drop it in the chat right now, man, we nice. And Deke was like, yo, well, if John don't pull up and if John don't say nothing in the comment section, then I'm out. And John, you ain't say nothing, man. I was in here, I was waiting. I look like the little kid, man. I was like, yo, it's no, that ain't my right. Is that my right? Is that no, that ain't John either. Yeah, John. Oh man, John, I know you was always watching, John, but you won't comment in that day, John. You won't comment when it happened, John. And he left me. He left me because of you, John. And now I'm sad. All right. I'm grieving. So that's the fictitious version. But the real version was this, man. Me and the homie, man, we've been rocking out, having a dope time for the past 6 years, man. But my man said, yo, he wanted to continue to grow, but he wanted to try, to do more solo content. So like a dude that I am, I say, bro, I support the movement, man. Hey, spread your wings, baby. Spread your wings, man. But with that being the case, that meant, no more of the tag team, the duo. So from there, man, I was like, all right, it's all gravy. But that's why we got the new vibe over here with the new format, Solo Daddy-O. So here we are. But yeah, John, so I want you to tell all your homies, John, that the reason why it's no longer the Arthemos experience with Deke is because of you. All right, John. I love you now, John. I appreciate you still being here today, John. But I blame you, John. All right, it's your fault. He left us. Yes, Leah. Like a Jurassic Park. He left us. I was like, no, Deke, come back. It was like, where's John at? It's like, John, nowhere to be found, man. Shout out to John, though, man. Shout out to John, all right? It's all good. We appreciate you, John. Y'all hit that like button one time for John. Don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel, all right? We like John. Shout out to John. He says, I'll take it like you too, Mo. Say salute to the homie, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be the new running joke, all right? Since y'all here today, yeah, just know, all right? Whenever I see somebody in the chat, just ask, hey, what happened to Deke? Once a day, all right? I'm going to just pick somebody. Like, you know what? I think it's his fault today. I think I'm blaming you today, all right? I'm just giving y'all the heads up, so shout out, man. All righty. Let me get to the next one. Oh, actually, man, I do want to talk this up real quick, though, because like I said, we did get this also stemming off of the Justin Fields having interest in the Jets conversation. But the internal part, man, of the Steelers still being kind of, back and forth on this Justin Fields and Russell Wilson decision. How we feeling about that, man? We couple weeks now into the off season, man. Last time we played a game, we still, internally got a little bit of a divide. Still ain't figured out which one they love just yet, which direction they would truly want to go. I don't know. I typically, I don't like that. Me personally, I prefer everybody to be on the same page. But we know even with the decision to start Russ, everybody wasn't on the same page. I wish we knew what the decision was or who all went into the process to acquire Russ on the front end. Because obviously we know how that affected Kenny and everything that stemmed from that. But I'm like, yo, who was green lighting that move? Because if that's a Mr. Rooney and Coach T move, then yeah, I think I'm going to start hedging my bet on who I think is going to win the argument of which quarterback is coming back, if you catch what I'm saying. But if that was not the case, if it was, all right, maybe Coach T wanted him, but Mr. Rooney didn't, or Mr. Rooney did, but Coach T, that's where I'm like, all right, it could get a little interesting, all right? But yeah, man, I definitely am not the biggest fan of the divide, though. I think that it is good, though, that we are having them internal discussions. I think that is a positive. And like I said, I do like the fact that we're not just jumping on one versus the other. But man, I'm just like, hey, bro, clock is kind of ticking. we kind of getting into this offseason where we kind of might want to know which direction we're going to start building up everything else to. Okay. All right. And you know, I think we could have built out the roster a lot easier, or even attract potential, you know, free agents or trade candidates if we kind of got that, this is direction, this is the guy. So hopefully, like I said, man, we will get the info coming out, like I said, next week time frame, man. Those dudes are Coach T is supposed to be meeting with everybody in terms of offense staff, defensive staff, and we should get that decision, or at least we should get some type of reports out of that thing, right? The Jerry Dulacks of the world, the Jeremy Fowlers of the world, right? The Kabalis, shout out to Kaboom, right? I be knowing y'all around now. I be seeing y'all. I know who y'all are. All right. So yeah, like I said, man, we will see with that. I do see where my man that just brought that up. Jay had said a new O-line coach might attract more QBs. Well, the problem is this team has already said they're not moving on, from Pat Myers. But we did get a little update as it pertains to some of our in-house free agents that do play on the offensive line. So since my man Jay brought that up, let's go ahead and tap in. Hit the like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Man, let's get it. Yeah, because we also had reports, like I said, coming out about our imports and exports game. Who gets to return and who unfortunately is going to be finding a new place of employment. But this was also Sports Illustrated was where I saw the article at, but I want to say it was Jeremy Fowler who did the reporting on it and put out the quotes that were in it, so to speak. But yeah, man, basically it looks like the Steelers are going to be moving on from Dan Moore and James Daniels. Now, we obviously know what both of those guys, in terms of Dan and James Daniels, man, both of these dudes have started multiple games for us to varying levels of success. I'll also say that, right, when we preface it, when we talk about them dudes. But when you're talking about, like I said, man, Dan Moore, 4-year starter for us, came in initially as a 4th-round pick, if I remember correctly. 4th round pick. Yeah, make sure I want to butcher him up, man. But yeah, came in initially as a 4th rounder, man. Has started, every time. Super available and stuff like that. So obviously we know he has been one of our mainstays, not a world beater, but at the same time, man, when you're just talking about from a NFL's perspective, yeah, you won as a 4th rounder when you come in and you start 4 seasons consecutively at a position and are ultimately, 66 starts. And you're going to hit the market, man. So to me, man, I look at Dan and I'm like, I don't personally love the move of moving on from him. But at the same time, I can 100% understand why. And I'm not against it. I'm definitely not against it, man. And the thing is this, when we're talking about why I'm not against it, it's because it's going to open up an opportunity, specifically to a 1st rounder that we just drafted, 2 years ago now, in Broderick Jones. We've only seen Broderick at right, but when you draft a guy in the 1st round, you want to see him at the position that you drafted him. And I understand the situation leading up to, Broderick getting his first start and taking over ultimately for Chooks. It wasn't the most ideal, but it was what it was. And that's what landed Broderick at right tackle. And we got a chance to kind of see what he could do well. And then we also saw where he would struggle at. Whereas now with Dan Moore, at that point, Dan was continuing to be arrow pointed up. He was playing at a really good level. And we were seeing some consistency with the hope that this year he would take that real leap of being a bona fide guy or giving us clarity that we can move on. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of the in-between. We saw some really good moments from Dan Moore where you had me talking about him really highly midway through the season. And then we obviously saw how it ended with the Trey Hendricksons and the Myles Garretts of the world having a lot of success against him. So when that happens, man, to me, that changed my stance. Do I think Dan Moore is a good player? Yes. Do I think Dan Moore is a starter in the National Football League? Yes. Do I think Dan Moore could still start for Pittsburgh next year and we could still win a lot of games? Yes. But at the same time, I do feel like his ceiling, you're getting as close as you're going to get to peak Dan Moore. I think he maybe could go a little bit higher in terms of just overall production, but I don't think he's ever going to be the type of player that we envision a Troy Fautano or even a Broderick Jones potentially developing into based off of those guys' athleticism. That's why those dudes were first rounders versus where, Dan Moore was a fourth rounder. It's not a slight to him. It's just athletically, those dudes profile and project certain things that Dan doesn't. So when the play from Dan kind of levels off and you're still very, very much young and early in the career of a first rounder that plays the exact same position, that's the part for me where, as much as I would want to lean on the side of caution, as much as I want to lean on the side of I've seen this, I know it can play left tackle, I don't have to guess, let me just make sure I don't overpay it, that to an extent is living in your fears. And it's like, man, you drafted Broderick for a reason. We all enjoyed the tape that we watched from Broderick while he was at Georgia. The dude deserves the opportunity to compete at left tackle. I'm not saying you give him the spot. I'm not saying that. But I do feel like he warrants an opportunity to compete at the natural position that we drafted him at. We're not talking about a fourth rounder. I know that was or even a third rounder. That was the whole Kevin Dotson convo, right? It's like, hey, man, why are you playing Dotson at left? Why are you playing him at right? It's like, bro, what? Dotson wasn't a first rounder. Dotson was a middle rounder. It was like, hey, man, you got an opportunity to get on the field. Just get on the field. Broderick is a different conversation, man, because we're talking about a high pedigree first round draft pick at a position of need. And financially, right tackle versus left tackle, we're talking big difference when we're talking average salaries as well. So that's the thing that, like I said, I am understanding of the move. Do I like it all the way? No, because there is some guesswork. There's definitely some concern with that. I mean, we haven't seen 17-game Broderick look Pro Bowl, all pro caliber. We've had moments, but we've also had not so good moments. This is going to be a learning curve. This is going to be a little bit of an adventure. Left tackle in the National Football League is a different beast than right tackle. But is Broderick capable? I think he is. I think he has all the traits to come out there and play that position. But we're going to find out. And the only way to find that out is by allowing a guy like Dan Moore to move on. If you keep Dan Moore here, you're never going to get a chance to have Broderick over there, man. Unless, well, I don't see how you would do that even going forward, because you'd have to pay Dan Moore, and you're not going to be paying Dan and then put him on the bench. Now we waste the money. So with that, though, that's why I'm like, man, yeah, give Broderick the opportunity, man. Let him show. And could it sink? Sure. But there's still a chance that it could also come out here and play at a high level, because that is what we drafted it to do specifically at left tackle. So that's the part to me, man, that, with Dan Moore more than likely moving on in free agency, I'm intrigued at the opportunity of what Broderick moving to his natural left tackle position could bring us. Now, I will also say this, though. I'm not against us bringing in some competition, man. It isn't. I don't want a first round tackle. I'm not talking about that type of competition. But if you went and got you a middle tier, free agent tackle, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Something just to make sure that Broderick has to compete. Because still a part of me is skeptical in the sense of, if it was just a true 1v1 competition right now between Dan Moore and Broderick at left tackle, I've seen Dan Moore play in 66 games at left tackle. Yeah, make sure I got these numbers right. Yeah, that's a lot of starts, man. It's a lot of starts. And to me, he's been good in more of them than he has not been. But I get it. But to me, that's my thing. I'm just like, I've seen Dan do it. We have not seen Broderick do the left tackle just yet. We're going to find out, though. But that's why, for me, I'm like, yeah, I want him to get the opportunity, but I do want some type of competition in here for him. And that's the same stance that I honestly have with Justin Fields. We come and bring Justin Fields back. I like it, and I want him to be, pole position and all that other stuff. But give me something in here that he can compete. Heck, man, even if it was Danny Dimes, bring both of them. Bring Danny and Fields in here, man. Let them both compete. And then, obviously, Fields should win this. We should all have our money on Fields. But it's like, yo, at least let me feel like you earned it. At least let me feel like you had to go out there and take it, versus just being given to you. And then we're questioning, were you ever good enough to be this, or did you get this opportunity out of just, supply and demand, so to speak, man? But we shall see, man. We shall see. But like I said, that was with Dan Moore. Now, the other name is James Daniels. Now, with James, I don't think that was as big of a surprise just because when he, tore the Achilles, did it early enough where we saw a lot of Mason McCormick, and we saw Mason McCormick play really well. I think that's the other thing when you're looking at Mason and why, we were a little bit more excited about him as the season went on, because not only are you getting a younger player, but it's also a lot cheaper. So now you have a lot more a lot more flexibility, just in terms of free agents, who you want to sign and stuff like that. Whereas to me, man, James Daniels is still a heck of a player when healthy, obviously. Heck of a player when healthy, but blew the Achilles, man. That Achilles is tough. Now, he's still going to get paid this offseason. He's going to get a nice deal somewhere because Dan Moore is a dope interior offensive lineman with great size and athleticism for the position. Positional flexibility, could play center, could play guard, right and left. Yeah, he's going to be fine. But in terms of us from a salary cap standpoint, even with the cap increasing by almost, was it 20? I think it was between 277 and 285 or $281 million that the cap is going to balloon to from the 255 that it currently is, or what it was previously. With that, I'm over here like, yeah, I could add more pieces by just simply shaving the cost of James Daniel to Mason McCormick, because Mason has shown that I'm still going to get varsity production, and even though it might not be James Daniels caliber production, it's still good production for the position, and I'm getting a chance to grow and get some continuity between my youth, right? Mason McCormick, Zach Frazier, we obviously feel good about Seyumalu, and hopefully going forward, Troy and Broderick will get their youth movement going. But with James, though, I like that one better, just like I said, just because I feel a lot more confident in Mason McCormick. We got a chance to see Mason, and Mason played well. It's different. It's a different level of projection when I'm talking Dan Moore being replaced by Broderick Jones at left tackle than I'm talking about James Daniels being replaced by Mason McCormick at right guard, because I've seen Mason play a lot of games this year and play really well this year. Whereas obviously, like I said, man, with Broderick, we still got to see him play that left spot. But yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate the move, man. I think from a business perspective, those are the type of moves that you do make when you got young players that are playing really well and are super cheap compared to the veteran that is, on the second or third contract. This is the move you make. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but you do that because, yeah, it's just going to give you more opportunities to make your roster have more talent, and that's what you need at this level. Quarterback matters, the dudes that affect the ball matters, but then from there, it's like, all right, now we start piecing up who matters more. What can I invest in more? And with a guy like James Daniels in his contract, it just frees you up, more space when you have a guy like Mason McCormick. And that's what we always talk about, cheap labor. That's the fight as an NFL veteran, man. The cheap labor is serious, man. When you start getting past that fourth year and you balloon from that that minimum level rookie deal to them dudes having to pay you, now you have to justify your existence. And the more money they pay you, the more you got to be a force multiplier. So if you're getting paid a couple M's, you need to be better than a couple of body types in here. If not, then now we're looking at you saying, well, was this a good investment? And that's ultimately, there's some dudes on defense that we look at like that, right? Another name that popped up was Larry Ogunjobi. We talked about some of the money you could save with him, man. That was following the Preston Smith release. And it's largely due to that. It's due to when you start looking at the amount of money those guys are making on their second contracts, and we're asking, are they force multiplying to that same extent? If they're not, then now you got to have those tough conversations of, are we allocating these resources the best way possible? Or could we be taking this money and allocating it elsewhere and getting different body types via draft and, kind of going that way? So, like I said, that's the interesting stage or stance that we are currently in right now, man, as it pertains to those dudes, man, those free agents, man. So, yeah, dude, shout out, though, to the Steelers, man, and their internal brass and some of this here decision making, man. But we will see ultimately what they do with both of those guys, man, not what they do with both of those guys, how they intend to replace both of those guys. I think everything is saying that it will be Mason McCormick, obviously being the right guard, which I do like. But the left spot, like I said, left tackle, that's going to be the interesting part, man. Do they just completely cut the cording, Broderick getting it without any type of resistance? Or, do they bring in some? Whether it's, like I said, the free agent type, man, mid-tier signing, or is it mid-round, fourth-round draft pick type, man? Somebody just come in and say, man, we just want to see what it look like. Just give you a little something to make you look over your shoulder a little bit. That's it. Like, I think all of those type of scenarios could be very beneficial to where we currently are, right? So shout out, man. But y'all hit that like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. And big facts on that, Brandon Clark. Shout out to all the researchers in the building, baby. If you don't get your research on, what are you doing? And it's the off season, bro. That's the best part about researching in the off season. I literally watch tape and research. Dalvin Thompson, I tell you, man, I was watching him. Boy, I felt good over here. I was like, hey, man, had leg day. Now it's time to unwind, watch a little tape. Then came in here, kicked it with y'all, man. And shout out to Brandon Clark, too, man. My 5'4" OJMU in the building. Shout out. I already know what time it is, man. Go Dukes. You know what it is, man. Heck yeah. Shooting about a month from now, man. We'll be finding out, I got a college kid or a kid that's trying to go to college, right? Shout out to my bugs. But yeah, man, we put the application to JMU so, she find out her decision in March or the decision on application in March. So y'all send some positive energy to my oldest way, all right? She wants to, I think she's leaning there, but we'll see though, all right? We'll see. But shout out. And shout out to the Don Heavy Coin. He says always research, baby. If you're not, what you doing? But only if you're productive, right? And I get it. Not everybody is on it. And if you're not, hey, man, teach their own. But I like to live a plant-based life, baby. You know that. And Robert Bennett, yes, we typically are at 8 p.m.s, especially with the new vibe. Today was different. Me and wifey, we going to the basketball game tonight, all right? Little local high school, man. We've been following them around, man. They had their little first round playoff game Friday. Won. All right. Shout out to the South Ed Lady Lions. So they got another game tonight, second round of the playoffs. So I said, what? Let's throw the greenery on. No pun intended. Gotta have the greenery. You know that. But it was like, yo, let's go check them out. So the game, I forgot. It's coming up soon. So ultimately, that's why I was like, it's gonna start a little bit earlier today, so I can get these content. Get them drops to you because I know y'all need it. I know, and I need y'all. We need each other. All right. So I was like, let's get up here, let's chop it up for a few, and then after that, man, I'm gonna have to peace out. And I'm going to the game. And I want to see some hoops. All right. I'm in basketball mode now, man. And my middle girl, she be in her bag getting her hoop on. I was at the game last night. Little in-house. I said, oh. My baby out here hitting layups, hitting little shots. Lord. Yeah, man. I'm full on like dad mode, baby. Full on dad mode. But yeah, man. So shout out to the hoopers out there, though, man. But yeah, that's the vibe, man. And no, Josiah, I'm not going to get into coaching anytime soon because I do enjoy the scheduling right now, man. I love being able to go and do whatever, whenever, with whoever. And not have to worry about, man, I got to get on the road, man. I got to get ready for the combine, man. I got to go watch more tape, man. I got to go worry about this player, man. Like, I'm trying to live a stress-free life for my 30s, all right? That's my goal. I'm about halfway through, all right? I'm getting close. I got a birthday coming up in about a couple weeks, all right? Boy, be 37, all right? So we tapping in. But my 20s, man, they were a ton of fun. They were insanely fun. But it was a lot of stress in that time, man. It wasn't a lot of kick your feet back. You're not worried about anything. Nah, man, I was in my proving grounds. That was me on the come up in the league, man, earning, the thing that was allowing me to ultimately build a crib and do what we doing now, man. So yeah. Now, man, I'm over here like, I just want my 30s. I'm vibing out, man. I'm doing the husband and the dad thing, doing the streaming thing. Cause I guess I'm a YouTuber, right? That's what I'm a YouTuber. They say, hey, did you just play football? No, man. I'm a streamer, bro. You look famous. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, man. From YouTube, bro. I'm a YouTuber, man. All right. So yeah, I'm a YouTube dude. All right. But yeah, the Don, you got 5 years till 30? Hey, it be happening fast, bro. I felt like I remember when I turned 30. And then I was like, all right, I remember I retired after that. Now look, I said, boy, you about to be 37? Lord, how we get here? But it's a vibe, man. I got my little gray hair, my little beard. I'll be over here like, man, I ain't finna cut this yet. Let it grow. Let me just see what it look like. All right, I can dig that. Yeah. Ryan McPherson said he turned 28 a few days ago. Rod Dollar turning 35 next month. Salute. All right, salute the gang. Yeah, Cornell Banks, man, I had a gray, bro. It's like the longest gray, and I've been leaning into it. All right, I'm leaning into it. I'm like, you know what? This calling my little Gandalf the Gray, just right there. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. But shout out to the birthday people, man. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't run from getting old, man. You gotta enjoy it because you're either getting old or you're dead. All right, it's one or the other. The only time you stop getting old is when you check out. I ain't trying to check out no time soon, baby. Hopefully y'all aren't either, okay? So we're going to enjoy every new day, every new adventure as we continue to run it up. All right. Let's see. Let's get it, Leah. Okay. Shout out. Oh, Sky to the Smooth said he got a birthday on Friday, be 25. Salute to that then. All right. Malvo does going to be 41 in July. Respect, man. Respect. X Concept's gonna hit the 31 mark in July. Only age that scares me is my dogs. She needs to outlive me. Nah, I dig you on that. Anybody that got them fur babies, you know what time it is, man. I got the one that's like in her prime and she crazy. Shout out to Faith. But then I got my old man Biggie. Oh man, Biggie then guy. My man then went from like that nice, beautiful brindle to like, yo, my man like gray. I be like, hey, bro, you get a little old, man. But yeah, man, he's still kicking, man. He still holding it down, man. So shout out to Biggie and Faith, man. If you know, you know, all right. But yeah, man. Shout out to the birthday people out there, man. My 30 and up gang and my 20 and under gang and my old gang across the board, man. I love all of it, man. I love all of it. Jay said old dogs are the best. They are, but they be stuck in their ways, bro. But yeah, man, they be vibing out, man. Shout out to the dog lovers out there. Shout out to the animal people out there. All right, man. Yeah. Got my little Frenchies, my little tag team. All right. Named them after Biggie and Faith. Yes, Biggie Smalls, Faith Evans. I like it toxic in the house. All right. So shout out, man. All righty. And I like how we went from talking about dudes losing their jobs and Danny Dimes coming here to, hey, yo, how old everybody? Shout out to the chat. I'm telling you, man, y'all awesome like that, man. Straight like that, man. Straight like that. All righty. Let me see. You know what? I guess we were supposed to hit the homie TG, but now that I think about it, I don't think he is going to be able to cook with us. So I think we shall have a little fun to end it. We're going to go ahead and open up said phone lines because I want to talk to you guys about Danny Dimes. Ew. Yeah, I want to talk to y'all about him. All right. I want to open up the phone lines. All right. So let me get this set up. I'm going to pivot for a second. So give me about a minute or two. And then after that, man, we're going to open up these phone lines. All right. Yeah. I want to say, because I definitely since we in here having these convos, and unfortunately we have to have said convos. I mean, when you get to this stage of it, everybody's on the table. So, I'll allow y'all to make your case for why we should or why we shouldn't, who we like and who we don't. Hey now, yo, if I could just get this headphone to work, like, holy smokes, man. You set it up. Look, I set my stuff up in here before the show started, right? Had the cords untangled so I wouldn't be doing this right here because I feel like this is real JV and like my NFL background makes you feel like it needs to be perfect every single time. But now I'm just like, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I ain't going, bro. Got me in here scrambling around. No, I ain't going out like that. But yeah, man, we're going to open up these phone lines, man, for a few, man. I need to talk to y'all, like I said, man. Want to see how y'all feeling about the homie Danny Dimes versus Justin Fields or Russ or whoever else y'all might want to, make our long-term answer at the quarterback position. All righty. Fire this thing on up. Okay. All right. We have action. All righty. So the digits to dial are, make sure I got that right, 412-346-6955. 412-346-6955. 6955. Jeez Louise, I'm about to have y'all calling a random number in this joint, man. All righty. Oh, all right. Is it doing it again? Oh, it's doing it again. I love it. I like when my technology gets technical. Y'all remember how we did it last time? I started calling y'all back. I'm about to have to hit y'all with that real quick, all right? Because I feel like my technology is getting real technical. But 412-346-6955, all the digits to dial. Oh, yeah, it's being technical. All right, I'm going to call you. All right, here we go. Nothing like a little phone roulette. Who we going to call first? Hey, now. All right. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Lord. Get to me. There we go. Jeez Louise. What made me work for it today? Why you want to make me work today, man? Let me cook real quick. You know what Glorilla said? Let me cook. Yo, who I'm on the hotline with? I know you just called me, but I'm calling you back, player. Who is this?
This is Mano.
Man, what is up, Mano? First off, I appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you being a fan of the show. Means a lot to me. Yeah. Let's get it, man. Shoot, you know, I'm in here just politicking, having a good time with people like you. But unfortunately, I've been having to talk about Daniel Jones by myself. I've been having to talk quarterback by myself, and I don't really appreciate it. All right, Mano, I need your help. Can you help me out, Mano? Talk to me about this quarterback situation, man. How you feeling about the new reports about Daniel Jones?
All right, so we're going to start with Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones, when I first seen the Daniel Jones come up, I'm like, all right, is this something, what's our officer called? Arthur
Smith? Yeah.
I'm like, is he like trying to find him a new Ryan Tannehill? Like, is this what's going on here?
Oh, I didn't even peep
he kind of
that.
gives me that Ryan Tannehill vibe, you know what I mean?
Respect on that, man. I could definitely see the Ryan. Bro, now that you say Ryan Tannehill, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's scary that you brought that up now. Oh man, I see the vision. All right, keep going.
Yeah. So when I seen that, that's the first thing that clicked to my mind was that. But if we're gonna bring in Justin Fields to compete with him, I believe that with Justin Fields coming in, being comfortable with the system, with the fan base, showing all the love that they gave him, I think he'll come in here and he'll win the job over Danny. Danny doesn't really seem like a good, confident quarterback to have. I don't think he's gonna really fit in like that. But it's clickbait, but I don't like it.
No, respect on that, man. No respect on that. I like it, baby. I appreciate you tapping in too, man. All right, but I like your energy on that because I could definitely see that. But no, without a doubt, man. Appreciate you. Heck yeah, man. Shout out to Mano, man. We're gonna keep these phone lines open. I like that though, man. He brought up, hey, that looked real Ryan Tannehill-ish, and he's not trying to go the Ryan Tannehill route, and I definitely do not blame him for that. But yeah, for certain, I can see the Ryan Tannehill comparisons and similarities. For certain, I can see that, man. All right, let's keep these phone lines open. 412-346-6955. Call me up. I want to talk to you about Ryan. I was about to say Ryan Tannehill. Oh, it's still doing it again. All right, I'm gonna call you right back. Who I'm calling right now? Boy, I like this I like when I get to call y'all. Hey now, let me call you. I'm calling your bike. Whoever this was, just call me. I'm calling your right bike. We gonna call you up. Oh yeah, I can't wait to call this person up. I know anybody just call the phone and not answer the phone. Hello?
Yo.
Talk to me. Who I'm on the line with, baby? Who I'm on the line with?
Yo, this Rod Dollars. Who this?
Man, what? Hold on. Rod Dollar. Should I say Mouse? Is it? Am I saying it right? Well, talk to me, Rod. So yeah, man. I don't know which. You know how technology get, man. Sometimes it call and you could call me. Other times I gotta call y'all back. But either way, you know we're gonna make it cook. Right. So talk to me, Rod. First off, man, how my dog doing, man? How you doing, man? You know I appreciate you. You really rock with the content. You be on everything, man. So you know I appreciate you from the heart, man.
I bleed black and gold, man. And like I told you in West when I called into the radio show, man. I'd rather watch y'all than ESPN and listen to
salute,
y'all.
Man. Salute.
All the content.
Salute on that, man. So let's get into it though, baby, because yeah, Danny Dimes is the new talk. That was the new. All right, I can see this one, and this is why it works, and da-da-da-da-da. What's your thoughts on Danny Dimes? What's your thoughts on Danny?
we bored right now. That's not that. We bored. Hey, people need content. I understand. People need content. People need something to talk about.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's the
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? It's
Is that time of year?
right now.
Is that time of year, man? Is that time of year?
I'm not entertaining that. I'm not entertaining that. If we're gonna go that route, we might as well draft a quarterback.
Ooh, okay. I feel you on that one. Because
if we're gonna go that route, we might as well pick up a gem late in the draft.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Fifth, sixth round, somewhere around there.
I mean, sure. I was gonna say, man, if you weren't gonna go Danny Dimes and you were interested in draft, does the Will Howards of the world they intrigue you? Do the Jalen Milrose of the world intrigue you? Like anything on you? The Jackson Darts? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jackson Dart is good, but for some odd reason, man, I really don't think Jalen Milroe is gonna be all that in the NFL.
Yeah,
he might be all that if he switched positions, like at a slot
trying to though. You know, like he ain't trying to do it. He didn't see
Julian Edelman. I see a lot of Julian Edelman in him.
Oh,
that's what I see in him, and I went to Kent State, man. So it's like I seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? I seen that.
He say, "Yo, he played quarterback and it worked for him. I think you could do the same thing. All right, it'll work for you too. Don't you worry about it." I like that right there. I can see it. Hey, look. He's definitely of that caliber of, if you want to put him at any other position, he is such a great athlete that he could go there and play. I just think for those dudes, though, man, they've been proven that they're quarterbacks their whole life just to get to this point. And this is where you finally reach the pinnacle of proving that I am good enough, proving that I can play quarterback at this level. And now you're like, all right, bro. Don't even try, man. Just switch your position, man. Just save yourself time, all right? I just think it's a hard sell, man.
Yeah, and I think it all come down to the player with that point. Like, how much do you love football, or
that's
you know what I'm saying? Are you a money type of guy, or do you really love playing quarterback? You know, it all comes down to the
well, and I was saying we've seen some guys make the switch and others not. I mean, obviously with Tebow, we know he was hesitant about it, but he eventually tried to switch out to tight end. You brought up Julian Edelman, a dude that made this switch. All right, it was an extreme, but I'm like, he didn't want to make the switch. We was all saying, you could play tight end a lot sooner, but he didn't want to. For some dudes, like, they're open to it. For others, they're like, nah. Heck, I remember Julian Edelman playing defense. He used to play slot corner up there in New England when I was in Buffalo. I remember that. So I'm like, hey, bro, when you talk about him being a former quarterback, you like, yo, it's not what you're capable of, but it's what you're willing to do. Don't tell me you're capable of this, man. Show me that you could do it and that you're willing to do it. And dudes like him, they do that, and they have, amazing careers when you think about what Julian Edelman was able to accomplish at this level. And Milroe could definitely be in that convo. Yeah, shout out to Jamie. He brought Antoine Randall. He's another guy that made that switch, man. Former quarterback, obviously, made the switch to receiver. Still threw a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. Shout out to that. Shout out, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you see, where there is, a lane for those guys to do that. But the other part is, like I said, I could definitely understand when you've worked your whole life and you finally are on the edge of it. It's like, bro, you go get to the door of it and you didn't even go try it. You don't even want to just give yourself a go. Like, and I think that's.
He gonna get to somebody. We're gonna be like, we'll try you when we do that wildcat formation and that reverse wide receiver pass.
Hey, look, you always are the throwing guy. You're the Mohamed Sanu of the group. You're gonna throw every trick play that we got. You're passing the ball every time. All right.
Now, before we get off though, it is another quarterback that I would like.
Oh, all right. Who you
and
got?
It like grew on me because when I first heard it, when he was first in the draft, I'm like, nah, I don't really like him.
Okay.
But when I watched him play for New England last season.
Talking about Joe?
Yo. Yes.
Big Joe Milton?
I would like him. I would like him as a Steeler, man. If we could finesse that somehow, some way.
Shout out to, he passed the eyeball test. He looked Cam Newton-ish. It was a small sample size, but he checked that. I seen the Bills game. I was like, bro, you look good. Definitely look good. He did some stuff.
I wouldn't mind experimenting with that a little bit in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I like that. Now, I will say this. If we're going to go that route, I would prefer to keep Fields with him and let them kind of duke it out versus just turning it over to him. That's my only thing with that. But I saw what you saw, too, though. I definitely saw what you saw. Shout out to Rod Dollar, a.k.a. Mouse in the building, man.
Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat, man.
Let's get it. Heck yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you as always, though, from the bottom of my heart, man. All right? You already know what it is, man.
Sir.
Heck
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Be safe, be smart.
Hey, you too, baby. Peace. Shout out right there, Rod Dollar, man, tapping in, man. Shoot, man, Rod, like I said, he built everything. It's a show, Rod tapping in, man. Rod, one of the ones, man, from going way back when the show first started. He been tapping in, man. So big time salute to you on that. And that's one of Rosie Nix, aka Bloody Rose. You already know, man. Pittsburgh Steelers. That's one of his homies right there, though, man. So big time salute right there. But 412-346-6955 are the digits to dial. Join the convo, man. We having a convo about Danny Dimes. All right. Y'all are taking TG's spot right now. The homie is working. He got big boy responsibilities. So we got phone lines open. Oh, somebody call him back. All right, let's find out who we on the hotline with. I'm just call you up. I like this. I kind of know this area code too, but I don't know who I'm about to talk to. This is kind of scary, kind of dangerous, but we're having a good time. So who cares? Hit the like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Mom.
Talk to me, baby, who I'm on the hotline with. I'm calling blind. I don't know who I got.
It's the #1 J. Cole fan,
Okay.
Aaron Grant out of Charlotte.
Okay, shout out to. Hey, look, when I saw that area code, I said I know this area code really well because I used to have a spot down in Charlotte. Shout out the Waxhaw area. All right, so yeah. When I said okay, what's up, Aaron Grant? What's up, baby? How we feeling? All right. Since you down there in the North Carolina region, now that I think about it, this is actually perfect because you might have seen him, huh?
Something like that.
Yeah. You was bumping the J. Cole while you was watching Danny Don highlight tapes. I see what you on, man. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, there's no Danny Dimes over here, though. We came to talk about some real contenders.
Oh, all right. Who you got for me there, man? What's your energy on him?
Well, it's Justin Fields to the death of me.
Okay.
But at the same time, I need him to pair up with Trey Lance. I feel like nobody's saying the young boy name no more.
Ooh, Trey Lance. Yo,
They're the same draft class, right?
No.
It's
He's one different. Yeah. But Lance for certain is great. People forgot about Lance because he was in Dallas, man, just kind of sitting. You know, he got a couple opportunities, but yeah, we forgot about Trey Lance. Good.
He got some Kyle Shanahan training.
Yes, he did.
Then he went down
did.
to Dallas. He got some Mike McCarthy in him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we just need to go ahead and run that same scheme right behind Justin. Have Justin go ahead and keep that Tom Arth training up.
Okay.
And go ahead and give a little bit to
If you know, you better get that Tom Arch in your system, man. If you play quarterback, man, all right, go find him. He gonna help you out. He'll help you out.
Yeah.
But no, I do like that though. And
then
I see how you're trying to pair them up too, man. Similar styles of play, Justin Fields to Trey Lance, but doesn't take the opportunity from Justin Fields away. But at the same time, Trey Lance, man, you can compete with this guy. You do get a chance to push him.
Look, that's what I say. That's what the big boss Rooney says.
Let's go.
So I'm just trying to fall in line.
Let's go. All right.
Also, Moats,
talk to me, man.
I had to pick your brain on the concepts. We're out here run into a wall.
Yeah.
Run into a wall. Russ checks to a throw. Now they want Russ up out the building. I'm like, why can't my man throw?
I'm with you, man. So this was the big dilemma from my eyes, man. We obviously remember the Bengals game, the first one. That was the one that we felt was the peak of our passing performance, our offensive explosiveness, the points and everything included, right? But then we obviously hear the reports that was kind of the turning point in the sense of what Russ was allowed to do at the line of scrimmage versus what he was not allowed to do. And that was the conversation between him and Arthur Smith, and where you saw the reports talking about those guys not necessarily being on the same page. So with that, I think it's just that power struggle of, if you're the OC, this is your job, right? And if this quarterback, regardless of if you think he's good enough or not, doesn't do it right, you're going to be the guy that gets blamed. So for some of these guys, they just would rather go down completely in control of it versus, all right, I know this guy's capable. I know he can do it, but if it doesn't work out, they're not going to look at him and say he's doing it wrong. They're going to look at the coordinator and say, hey, man, why isn't this guy calling this special play? Why isn't this guy telling him to look here? And for some dudes, they just don't want to live like that. They want to be in more control. And for better or worse, we saw where those dudes kind of went, in different directions with that. Whereas in the past, you think about guys like Big Ben and how, you hear about the reports of him with Randy Fichtner. And there was intention, but Randy also wasn't going to override 7. He was going to allow 7 to call. Hey, man, if you want to call that, call that. If you don't want that, we're not calling that. Whereas then when it shifted to Matt Canada, we heard different reports. We heard where Matt Canada was kind of going back to, bro, you're not going to just call whatever because I'm still responsible. I'm going to call this. You're going to run this regardless of what we think you can or can't do to make it better. This is just the approach. Not saying that it's right, but that's just how some of those dudes operate, when you get to that level, because if it goes left, I mean, think about, we look at Kenny Pickett, right? And from the player perspective, there are a lot of players that look at Kenny and question just overall the consistency and talent that he had to play quarterback, let alone be the starting quarterback. But
not me.
But fair enough. But how many people from a fan perspective fire Matt Canada? It was instantly, we're pointing to that before we look at anything else. And for some coaches, they just don't want to deal with. They're like, if I'm going to have that anyways, let me have that being in full control versus me trying to play friends or play nice. And if it goes left, they still going to be pointing the finger at me. So that's kind of how I view it, man. Not saying that it's right versus wrong, but that's just, I think, what the scenario was for those dudes and kind of what they're currently dealing with right now.
I got to get one more off my chest. I don't feel like it's just Matt Canada.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it's just Arthur Smith.
Yeah,
I feel like it goes up the chain.
It do.
My boy Tomlin.
Talk about it.
My boy, the captain of the ship.
Heck yeah.
Rooney.
Heck yeah.
I feel like they're all lockstep. They want to be doing what Smith is talking about. That's the reason why they hired him, which is why wide receiver 2 in Pittsburgh is a blocking man's game.
Okay.
Whoever gets that wide receiver 2 spot is going to be on the bench looking like A.J. Brown with the book.
I will say this. That is what the approach will be until they prove otherwise. If you show that you're able to go down the grass the same way the Eagles love to hand the ball to Saquon Barkley, they won't hand it to Saquon because of how talented A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are, though. And that's the thing to me. If you don't have the guys that are capable of that, then yeah, man, sit out there and block because we don't want to play the game of throwing the ball too much and risking turnovers. But if you got the talented guys out there, man, they'll definitely shift. And we saw that with Coach Tomlin as well. The Killer B era was a prime example of that. That Killer B era is night and day to what we've had post Killer B era, where it's, oh man, we're so in the past, we're so defense. Wow, man, the game is past. It's like, no, this is the evolution of not having a quarterback. Nobody was talking about we're a defensive team when the Killer B era was going on. We were trying to score 30 on you every week. That was the goal. Outscore you. So it's just a pivot based on the pieces that you currently have right now,
Exactly. And
I like your style, Aaron. I like your style, baby.
Don't let them get no wide receiver in free agency. Tell them to go to the draft mode.
No, facts on that, man. I got you, baby. I got you. Hey, Aaron, I appreciate you rocking out the day, man. From the heart, baby. All right? From the heart.
I appreciate you, Moats. And shout out Tito Good Vibes for getting me the membership yesterday.
Hey, salute right there. Shout out to the homie Tito, man. We appreciate you paying that. Hey, show him a man love, man, for Tito paying it forward as well, man. But I definitely spend a block on you, man. Peace. Shout out right there, man. The one and only Aaron Grant. All right. Let's get it. All righty. And I like how, did my dude get out early? Hold on now. We go. Shout out to Aaron Grant. Shout out to Rod Dollar. Shout out to Main Up, man. The calls have been calling. Y'all been fire. Y'all been doing y'all thing. All right. My man TG text me. I'm like, hey, bro, you available, man? Hold on now. All right. Cause I've been over here pivoting. We could pivot to you because I can ask him too now. All right. I'm gonna find out in a second. We're gonna find out in a second. But yeah, man, if y'all digging these phone calls that we've been having as well, man, hit the like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. All righty. All right, guess we still wait. Now, my man, see, he working. I can feel it. All right, let's take another call then while we at it, man. Or should I just call somebody else? I see your number just pulled up on me. I see you just called. All right. I'm going to drop the number one more time. All right, then I'm going to call you back. 412-346-6955. All the digits to dial. Call me up, baby. With this, who's old enough to remember Miss Cleo? Call me now for your free time reading. Call me now, Miss Cleo. Hey, all right, call the show, man. We got the S&D popping off in here, man. I got that nice green Gator or Orange Gatorade, excuse me on that one. Oh, hey now, we got a call coming in. I'm about to call you back. I don't know who you are, but I like how your number popped up, all right? You look cool to me, so I'm going to call you now. Shout out to whoever this is. We're going to find out. Little phone roulette. Have a little scary time now. Hello? Hello? I'm calling you blindly. Who am I talking to? I don't know you. I called you back, though. Who I'm on the hotline with?
Namaste, my boy. This is Mr. Malvo. What's going on, Mo?
Hey, well. Mr. You said Malvo, correct? Did you get that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's Malvo. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Man, how are you doing, baby? Go ahead. Yes, go.
I'm good, man. You called me at a good time. I just went to break.
Yes.
I'm actually on the clock.
Well, shoot. Shout out to you being on break and on the clock, so I ain't gonna hold you up too long then, all right? But you know we gotta talk about it, man. How you feeling about
I know.
Danny Dimes, man? What's your energy on Daniel Jones?
Well, let me say this much because I want to know your take too.
Okay.
So if we're looking for two quarterbacks that's similar, you think Danny Dimes is similar to Justin Fields or Russ? Before I make my, response.
Oh man, to me, Danny Dimes is a lot more similar to Justin Fields. Yeah, you watch even in their running ability.
The speed lines or okay.
Yeah, in terms of this is the thing, Justin Fields. If you're comparing him to a running comp, you're only going to be talking about the Lamar Jacksons of the world because of the lateral ability that Fields has. But in terms of straight line speed, yeah, Danny Dimes is a 70-yard run on tape, man, or a 60-yard run on tape. He done tripped a couple times, but Danny has that. Yeah. And you watch him also, even in the game where we played against him, you watch him, his mobility, he moved around in the pocket well. The problem is when his feet aren't set and he's just relying solely on his arm, it's super inconsistent there. And that's where he gets in trouble.
Right. Okay. So yeah, as far as I'm coming to the team, I say I like his arm because it reminds me of us being able to move our wide receivers. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this: I don't think Justin is going to be able to give us the output we need for our wide receivers. I think that's fair. Real wide receivers.
I think that's fair.
To Pittsburgh.
That's fair.
And that's because he's going to run as his first instinct versus sitting in that pocket taking that hit.
That's 100% fair. And I think that's the part that made me a little bit open to the Danny Dimes element, because to me, Daniel Jones still profiles as I want to throw it first. He's just not right. He's just not all the way consistent in his development and in his footwork and technique. And that's the stuff that with him, with a lot of these quarterbacks that you want to see that just get more buttoned up. But to me, he is a lot more in line with the pass first mindset. And that's why when Mano brought up Ryan Tannehill, I'm like, oh my God, that's a perfect comp because that was Tannehill.
I was thinking about it. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Like that was what it was. Yeah.
I think Arthur Smith needs that pass first quarterback, not that just run quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be hard to say, but if Daniel comes, I hope he ain't coming alone if we're going to get rid of Russ. We need another quarterback.
If you're bringing Danny Dimes in, I would like Justin Fields to be here. I want them to compete, and I've got my money on Fields, but I can definitely see how a Danny Dimes could beat him out because of what we just talked about. One guy is pass first, another guy is run first. Not saying that the other guy that runs first isn't talented enough to pass, but the way that he's been at this level, he's leaned more on legs, whereas with Danny Dimes, he's definitely leaned more on arm. Yeah, that's real. That's valid.
Yeah. Now I got to comment to what you just said, just real quick.
All right, what you got for me, man?
All that competition sounds good, right? Yeah. Did you hear that Justin said that he possibly don't want to have competition? He wants to start.
I did see that. He said that he's looking for a guarantee or at least some type of clear pathway to be the starter because he said with Russ being here, he didn't have that. So that's why I think with Danny Dimes, you can accomplish both. I think I can accomplish Justin Fields having a chance to start, but I also can get competition and feel like it's legitimate competition and not, hey, Justin, you're competing against a seventh rounder that, don't really have a juice like that.
Don't really take it serious. Yeah. I just like that comment about that, because it's like, if you don't want competition, how you going to be out there on the field hungry if you're not in practice hungry?
Trust me, that is real.
And that's what Russ do. Russ is hungry in practice.
You heard Russ when he signed here. He said he won't duck in any of it. He said any of these dudes, like, I'm down to compete. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's just what I got to say about it. If Danny Dimes come, I hope he come with something else with him. But,
respect.
Other than that, I'm willing to whatever the team gonna do this year. That's what's coming, man. Last year I was pulling for both guys, but I don't like the divide. I feel like both to be there, just so Russ can now fully bridge him over after a year.
Yeah, we need one or the other. Yeah, commit to one or the other. Because even organizationally, like internally, it's like, man, I can only imagine if I'm a linebacker currently on this team, am I all the way Team Russ or am I all the way Team Fields? Because I feel like I'm going to get put in an awkward position if I choose wrong. In this offseason, y'all shifted this dude. Now I'm like, well, bro, I thought we was all leaning with this guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard on everybody when you don't have that clear-cut answer.
Yeah, one of them ones. Yep. I hear you 100%. But that's it, my boy. That's all I got right now, man.
Hey, shout out to you, Malvo, man. Like I said, definitely appreciate the way you rock out with the show, too, man. All right, from the heart, baby, from the heart.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get it, man. Stay safe out there, baby. Peace.
Have a good one.
Let's get it, man. I like that right there, man. Y'all showing out today, man. All right, the way that y'all have pivoted, because like I said, my dog was trying. He was like, yo, man, I might hop on. It ain't looking good, all right? My dog was fighting that good fight. It ain't looking good for my homie, though, all right? He out there on that grind. He working. He got a real job. He a defensive coordinator, all right? Norfolk State University, behold the green and gold. You know what time it is, all right? So I got to let my dog get it off, all right? He doing what he's doing, but the pivot is, chop it up with y'all. So shout out to y'all, all right? Shout out to y'all, man. Shoot, man, we had some pretty good calls, man. If y'all are enjoying these phone calls, man, make sure you hit the like button one time for the coach and don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Like I said, man, these are some of the things that I do want to continue to add more of without necessarily waiting to the end of the week or waiting until, the show is over. It's like, man, if we got something that we kind of in the heart of, man, and it's vibing out, man, and the energy is right, man, let's open these phone lines up, all right? So we are going to take one final phone call as we, get closer to the back end of this thing. 412-346-6955. You already know what time it is. Hit me, baby, hit me. Oh, all right. We got something calling. Okay, let's see who this is. I like this phone roulette, man. I'm a little nervous. Ooh, I'm nervous. The ring, the anticipation. Oh, who could it be? Oh, the excitement. Who am I on the hotline with? Talk to me, baby.
Hello.
What's the word?
Hey, Moats, how you doing?
I'm well. Who I have the pleasure to be talking to today?
This is James Kitchen. How are you, sir?
Man, you said James Kitchen? Is that what you said the last name, Kitchen?
Kitka. James Kitka.
Oh, Kitka. Okay. Oh, Kitka. Man, first off, what's the word with you, baby? How you been?
How's it going?
Hey, let's go, man.
Well, Moats, I got to tell you, I live here in Jersey, and no. I'm going to say that.
Well, look. Since you in Jersey, I'm going to ask you about a couple of quarterbacks that have been down there for a little while. Huh? We're going to start with Danny Dimes, and then I'll talk to you about Achilles boys. That sound good to you, too? Because, yeah.
I don't know. The thing with all my friends, I'm the only Steelers. I feel like I'm the only Steelers fan here all these years. But all my friends that are Giants fans will tell you the same thing. I don't think Danny's consistent, and I don't think it's going to work out.
That's real. No, that is real. All right. How did they feel when he got the check, though? Because at that time, that was like the peak of Danny Dimes, right? Did they at least believe in him when they paid him, or were they still skeptical about that decision?
Well, everyone said that locally. We're like, oh, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be the guy, and then it just didn't work out. It just really was not good. I just wish that I don't know why not Justin. I just don't know why not Justin.
So I think that Justin is definitely a part of the conversation. I just think that where we're currently at from an organization standpoint is not why not Justin. I just think that their question is Justin ready by himself? Because when we talk about Russ, I think they look at Russ in the conversation of he can be the guy by himself. When we bring up Sam Darnold and the way that people look at him based off what he did last year, some people are projecting that he's going to be able to do it by himself. Just, we know you're QB1. We don't have to have a contingency plan. You're going to be the guy. We got you long term. With Justin Fields, the 6 games, it gave you this is direction that it could grow to. But the longest we've seen him look like that was the 6 games. Prior to that, it was everything that took place in Chicago, where not everybody was the biggest fan of his style of play. And obviously we know it didn't equate to a ton of wins, hence the reason why people were still kind of on the Kenny Pickett side of it versus, transition over to a Justin Fields. So I think that it's more of that at play with it. You know what I mean, James?
I got you. I really like Russ too. The thing with Russ, I just feel bad is like if he didn't push that sled, if he didn't push that sled in preseason,
the sled was the game changer, man. The sled did him in.
I mean, what? Who would let him do that, though?
Look, my God. Hey, now it was a lot of us alum that when we heard that, we all said the same thing. We was like, hold on, bro. Who was the strength coach? Oh, it was a new guy. Oh, all right. It was a new guy. It was a new guy.
I was like pushing a sled, really? I mean, that's like I was like, oh,
and I don't want my quarterback on him pushing no sled, man. Look, hey, quarterback, you go do quarterback stuff, all right? Go do pat and go work on throwing the ball into the trash can. Get your arc on your pass, man. I don't need you pushing no sled. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been a different situation for us, different season if he was 100%.
But the flip side with that, 100% Russ, I would have been more intrigued to see. But then I feel like we never would have got a chance to see Justin Fields, because I do feel like the way that Russ was playing, if he's healthy from the beginning, I think that we're going to get that in just a larger sample size of it. And it wouldn't have promoted a lot of reason to shift it, to make that change. Whereas obviously the reason we were able to shift from Justin Fields was because we had never committed to him. Everything is always still Russ. So we just knew that once he gets healthy, yeah, this dude has a higher probability of jumping right back into that starting lineup, and ultimately that's what we saw happen. So that's my only thing. Like I said, if he would have been healthy, I just don't think we would have ever saw Fields. Maybe it makes this time of year a little bit more simpler for us, but I kind of like the fact that we got a chance to see a cleaned up version of Fields, man. I think it makes it a little bit more intriguing surrounding him now, right?
Yeah, I hear you. And Soraya looks really good in Steelers gear is all I got to say.
Oh, you said Shador?
No, this is Soraya. Soraya looks good in Steelers gear.
No, salute on that one, baby. I was like, I know you ain't talking about going to draft Shador. I was like, how we get there? James? But no, we on the same page. All right, we good. I like it. Well, shoot, man. All right. Well, you educated me on him. Did any of your friends in that Jersey area, tri-state area, they have any feelings on Aaron Rodgers? I know that sharing the same stadium, being around the same area, just bumping any Jets fans down there. How they feel about Rodgers, man?
I think a lot of the Jets guys were disappointed in Rodgers. They had the hopes, but I don't think he's a good team player. I think they didn't like the fact that whenever the receivers dropped the ball, he would grimace, he would make faces.
He gonna show you he pissed off. He gonna show you he upset.
Yeah. So it was way different with Russ, Yeah. So it's I guess I don't know. It's just I just think we got to either go Justin or Russ, and we just got to do our best, And we got to get a number 2 wide receiver. So.
Well, shoot, man. There are going to be some potential names out there for that number 2 wide receiver spot, man, whether we talking high-end free agency, middle tier, or the draft. So I like that. I definitely like that. But shout out to you, James Kicker, man. And I appreciate you for tapping in and supporting the show the way that you do, baby, all right?
Most, thank you so much. I'm getting used to the new format, but I really appreciate you coming on the air all the time.
No, I salute to you on that, man. Definitely salute to you on that, man. And I'm going to keep this thing rolling, baby. You already know. But definitely appreciate you, man. Peace.
Take care. God bless.
Yes, indeed. Shout out right there, man. James Kicker, man. All right. That was a vibe, man. Nice little pivot to the scenario for today. Like I said, man, anytime we get a chance to open up the phone lines, man, include y'all in the conversation. Your boy appreciates that and the way that y'all participate as well. So make sure you hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel, baby. All righty. Yeah, man. Oh, we got one more super that just popped up. Let's get that. And then, like I said, obviously, man, the boy back in here tomorrow. And now tomorrow's regular 4:00 time. All right. We said all Thursdays. I like to keep at 4:00 because we know when we get to the season, man, that's typically where I do a lot of those interviews, Steeler players, active guys, stuff like that. So like to stay in that 4:00 time frame. Today was being flexible due to the fact that, I'm going to see some hoops tonight. All right. Me and wife, we got to go see these little lady Lions, get more buckets as they try to get a 4th consecutive Whip Hill championship, man. All right. But, let's get to this last super from that boy 23. Shout out to that boy 23. He says, Bo Collins combine invite. Also feel like Quinn Ewers is going to be a good quarterback. Okay, so you said Bo Collins did get the combine invite. All right, salute to him on that. Be interesting to see, obviously, the numbers and, more importantly, the interview elements with him. With Ewers, man, Ewers is the weird topic, man. He has a ton of talent, a ton of the things that would project him to be a really good player, but we know the consistency was not there. Sometimes it's a guy trying to be too much of a hero, trying to make too much of the spectacular play. Others is just, you need to just settle in. And Quinn could be one of those guys. It's not easy when you got an Arch Manning behind you and how loud that gets while playing at Texas. It's a lot of pressure that comes with that. And yeah, when you're a kid, some people handle it well. Others, man, they're a little bit, up and down with it. But in terms of just ability, yeah, Quinn has ability. He for certain has that, regardless of if we want to make him a first-round draft pick. I think that's a different conversation. But does Quinn have the ability to potentially be a good quarterback? Yeah, he got potential. Yeah, I see that. But, yeah, I think the situation is going to matter. And like I said, for him, man, he definitely has to get a lot more buttoned up from my perspective. But that's what a lot of these young quarterbacks. I mean, you've been hearing me talk about Danny Dimes for a lot today, and he's one of those guys that I'm still saying has to continue to get more consistent. Justin Fields, right? Still has to get more consistent. Those dudes at the collegiate level, I mean, for Justin Fields, dominant. Danny Dimes, man, lit it up down there at Duke. So for a lot of them dudes, man, that's always the battle, right? More consistency. Proving that you can do it more. All right? So we can, spend them big boy dollars on you. And you can win us a championship as well. Shout out to Cornell Bakes. So he says Jackson Dart is the only QB that he's drafting this year. Shout out to Jackson Dart, man. Like I said, I started watching a little bit of him, man. I haven't watched enough to where I'm ready to all the way drop mixtape on him. Oh, they like this, that. But coming soon. All right. I've been on my my running back, wide receiver, D-line vibes lately, man. Today, like I said, I was watching my free agents. Watching Dalvin Tomlinson because I really wanted to come in here and talk to y'all about him today. And then it was Danny Dimes' fault. Just kept seeing Danny Dimes I'm like, you know what, man, all these reports, I just gotta go talk about him. Let's do it then. All right. So that was what that was, man. But like I said, man, that will conclude today's show. But hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you did, you know the drill. That like button is like a little thumbs up. You bop that one time, and then obviously that button that says subscribe, because we're gonna get back to that 50K. We got 50K. I still got the notification. I ain't even celebrated because I said it was too short-lived. All right, we can get back to that 50. Then we're gonna celebrate it the right way. All right, the right way. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in, support the channel the way that y'all do. Y'all stay safe out there, and until next time, baby, peace.